Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hello, happy Thursday. It is so good to be here with you for another Trinity tournament and talk. And I know it's just me right now. I believe the others should be joining soon. I told them that I was going to jump in like 15 minutes early to make sure we got any last minute signups and anybody that was here could check in. So let me just adjust the laptop like that. So yeah, let's do it, shall we? Let's freaking do it. I'm gonna go ahead and check in for the tournament. It starts in less than 15 minutes, so keep an eye out for that. Oh, I guess I gotta log in. Okay, there we go. So that is that to a certain extent. Okay. Now, while we're waiting, I have been absolutely drunk. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. I made some coffee and then I forgot to take it. Now my microwave is reminding me that it's still in there. So make sure you check it for the tournament. 1 minute. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. For anybody who missed it, I had made some coffee and forgot to bring it with me. So we are here. Papa Bear is ready to go, even though I'm feeling a little bullish today. But we have the Trinity Talk and Tournament coming up in about 12 minutes. So make sure you sign up if you've not signed up. And if you have, you can now check in. So please make sure you do. And let me go here and check. All right, we're seeing some people checked in already, so that's good. I will be playing myself because why not? It's a ghost card tournament. Who wouldn't want to? And shout out to Lorkus for putting this together. So let me go ahead and just take a little look at where the market's at. We are back over 101 on Bitcoin. 101,668. You gotta love it. You gotta freaking love it. ETH is closing in on 4K again, so that's cool. BNB, Matic, I mean, everything's looking quite green today. SPS is sitting right below a penny. Vouchers, on the other hand, look at that, 1.4 cents. Oh, I didn't even see that they had spiked to 1.6. Isn't that fascinating? All right, well, here we go. We got the crew. Lorkus, Tails, how are you doing, gentlemen?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm feeling pretty good today. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and share some positive energy with you guys. Hopefully, hopefully it's a good day for everybody all around.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, man. You got a lot of snow there.
It started, yeah. We're snowing today.
So I'm headed to Chicago for the holidays. I'm actually hoping for a little snow as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go skiing later, so I'm hoping for more too.
Nice. All right, who do we got here in the chat? Steve saying, "Sup guys, driving to work." Harris says, "Happy Bitcoin Day. All-time high before the stream ends, please." Oh, that would be nice.
Just buy enough to drive up to the all-time high.
What's that?
It's your job. Your job is to buy enough to send it to a new all-time high.
All right,
after some.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and smash buy right now.
Yeah.
So, how have you been though? Otherwise, Lorkus, how are you feeling about markets, Splinterlands, all that? I feel like it's been a minute since we talked. We had I guess it was 3 weeks because we did it before the holiday. So we had the holiday off, and then last week I think everybody was kind of recovering from that.
Yeah, last week was crazy. I don't know. I guess I haven't thought about Splinterlands too much in the last 3 weeks. I was a little disappointed by how our last stream went, and that people thought that was a great idea to smash tails. I thought that wasn't cool.
Oh, to smash tails?
Yeah. Like, I don't care if they smash me. I don't listen to social media, so good luck with that, guys. The picking on tails I didn't think was very cool. He was getting some really good feedback on stuff. I didn't like that. So I honestly haven't paid too close of attention because I thought it was kind of rude. But other than that, I am recently disappointed with the latest legendary card. I liked the changes that happened to it, but it's not enough. I don't like
Are you talking about the voucher one or the upcoming one?
the voucher one. Both good to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one went through some last minute kind of finagling.
I know, this is basically what I was complaining about last time, so I'm just starting where I left off. This to me points to that the team is not reading the room. They're not listening to what people are saying. None of the stuff that people said about this card was new. It was all repeats of things that people said about other cards.
Yeah.
Why did it take a last minute, oh my God, we almost totally screwed this up. No, we've only slightly screwed this up maneuver. I don't understand.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. You want this card to be just awesome, right? I mean, like super.
I don't care.
Desirable.
I want it to not suck. To not suck. Like, I don't have particular needs for the card. I know it's just different than a lot of people play the game, but I don't theory craft this game anymore. I now have scholars that play this game. What I want is something that draws people to the game. And this isn't it. This isn't it at all. Like, this could have been a way to sink a ton of vouchers, but it's not even clear that's happening because it's better than it was a week ago.
Yeah.
But it's still like, it's a mech card. I don't really know what to do with it. I asked my scholar and he's like, I'm not really seeing it yet. I'm not sure. I'm certainly going to get it. That's what I do. I just don't understand. I guess I just don't understand. Where are we? Why are we doing this?
So, I know you probably don't, I don't know how much time you spend on the Discord since you're saying you don't spend much time on social media, but in one of the rooms, Vugdis was kind of going pretty crazy. He was tagging everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I did see it. And that's basically the only reason any changes happened, as far as I can tell, is Vugdis finally lost his cool with Matt. It was like, yo, argument. Matt, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this right now, is what he said.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same argument that you're making. I think a lot of people felt, right? Like, to your point, the card was. I think the card is interesting right now. Like, is it enough for me to drop 1,500 vouchers of BCX? I don't know about that. I'll have to wait and see. But to your point, they really, at least the initial thing that came out was like, why would anybody bother getting a max copy of this card, right? And that was my issue with Mana Warden that came out earlier. I'm just like, I got one BCX because you get 80% of the value in the first BCX, right? Like, I understand throwing a bone to, like, lower levels of a card for players that can't go all the way, but that's fine. Throw a bone, but then throw like 15 bones at people that want to spend for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
it's because it's like Vugdis's point for gold foil was exactly right. That one gets you 2 BCX, and if you want to go all the way, you need 4. It's quadruple the price. Yeah. And that's just, it's not right. So at least that was changed. It put rebirth at the end. I really think the special ability should have been at the end, or the other things that I thought were even smarter was putting remove the untrainable ability at max level. There were some fixes I thought were way smarter. This isn't horrible. It's not the absolute dumpster fire that it was before. Yeah, but it's questionable.
So I got a question for you then. How, because I understand the argument advocating that we need these just very powerful cards and powerful abilities and stuff like that. I want to play devil's advocate for a moment and get your perspective. Okay, what about power creep, and how do we avoid that argument, or at least satisfy the folks who are worried about power creep? Do you think about that?
I think power creep is a definite problem that we've been facing. You can look at my card. My card is gross.
Sorry to interrupt. By the way, sorry to interrupt, but thank you again for the delegation. I have been loving it. I've been using it. I have not played with Tofu myself, but I got to say that of all the cards that I have tried out, Lorkus is the best. And
Well, it's just because you haven't tried tofu yet, but it is good.
Well, again, I know well, if you look at the market, I mean, Lorkus shot up in value. It's like 40, going for $41 right now. So I think people understand how good it is, which sucks because I was like, okay, now that I'm playing with this, I love it. It solves one of the biggest problems for me, which is that stupid rule set of everybody loses their abilities. And I was like, I have a card to play now back to basics, that allows me to enjoy that rule set at least a little bit. And so if there's any Rebellion Summoner I'm going to get, it's going to be that one.
Yeah, and I think that's a brilliant point. Like some of these new summoners are clearly more powerful than what was existing in Chaos Legion, and even stronger than some of those you saw in Untamed. Like Kitty held the spot for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's not bad that something else takes over as the most dramatic card. But to me, there's clear power creep. It's not, I guess I'm torn. Right now, the power creep is very much heavy on Rebellion. And I think potentially partly that was on purpose to try to get people to buy Rebellion. If it's played correctly and they use Rebellion as the peak of their power curve and then use California as their set to bring in counters and balance that, I think that we may be in an okay place, because that would put a continued pressure on Rebellion to make sure it was attractive and it didn't just become unneeded because of power creep. If it turns out that Chaos Legion just continues the power creep curve, I think we're potentially not in a great place. We're just going to have cards with 30 abilities or something.
Gotcha.
I think there needs to be a peak to what we call like the highest, and then just work on balancing and not keep pushing power.
Agreed.
That's my thoughts.
Okay, hold on, guys. Sorry, I want to make sure for anybody in the tournament, if you have not checked in, you have about 2 minutes to do so, and then we'll get started there.
I'm up talking to people before 8 a.m. This is crazy.
When you sent the timing for the tournament, I was like, I know that this is showing my time, but I'm pretty sure Lorkus is a couple hours behind me. So I mean,
no, I thought this would be a great time. Like we like to pick up other people to chat with or to join the tournament. And this is before work starts, so why not?
Yeah, perfect. Let's do it. So how much time you got? I guess. An hour or so.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Whatever. All right.
Okay.
Well, so to that point, hold on. I want to bring in some comments here. First round from Harris saying, "I have not seen Tails in some time. Still no face reveal." No, I don't think so. Let's see. I have met Tails in person though. Tails is a really cool dude. So Brandon says, price per BCX is too low to eat away enough vouchers to make a difference. As for quality card, it's very effective in top gameplay, but I experienced feel bads trying to play up a rule sets and limits on Splinters, made it so Ulfgar wasn't even available. So this is my biggest issue. I know that they love Dragon, but I don't know that any promo card or highly desired card should ever be Dragon. I don't know. That's just me, right? And don't get me wrong, I've loved some of the previous ones, but for a promo card, you want it to be super versatile and to use it anywhere. Like if this card had been neutral, I think that would have been amazing, right? Because it's like 4 mana, you get to use it literally. Yeah, like I get it. They're trying to make Dragon OP, but it's like you can use neutral with Dragon, but now you can use it with everybody. That would be even better.
It's a good point because Dragon has the obvious problem of fewer summoners, so you just have way fewer opportunities to pull it out. It's a good point.
And I generally go to Dragon if I want to go high mana, right? Because there's just a lot of like behemoths there that I'll be able to get the benefit out of. But
I feel like we see a whole lot less Dragon because of Tofu and Lorkus.
Yeah, Tofu and Lorkus. Well, and I gotta say that I have not played with it yet. I've played against it a couple of times, and Nidhogger is just not. He's not it. I mean, that was not a great like that force reduction. I think where you like get one less unit to play with is just it's tough. Too much.
Yeah, too much I'm curious how that card ended up where it is. I think it's got some niche playability, but it's definitely not Tofu, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea because if I was to get in the head of Call Me Tim or Matt and making that card, it's like, okay, well you bump it up to 10 mana first of all, which is like kind of crazy, And then you give it Jotun-esque abilities, because then you can choose to give blast to half your team. But then the other part of it is, I like the other tactics. I don't know. I mean, sure, they've beaten me in the past, but that force reduction of not having a full team, especially for something like Dragon, because like a 10 mana summoner, you're only going to use that in a game where you can use a bunch of other high mana cards, right? So it's like, okay, well, all of a sudden now you're kind of leaving, I don't know, 10 plus mana on the table that you wouldn't be able to utilize. So, yeah, Nidhogger is just not, it's just not it. So I'm.
So you haven't bought a gold foil of that one yet? Is that what you're saying?
I have not bought a single BCX, but I will go. So if I'm looking at, hold on, let me check the tournament here. Oh, I got a battle, so I'll do that in the background on my other screen. Boom me saying what's up. Brandon saying totally agree with Lorkus. Looking at abilities versus BCX to max. Those who do not get max don't understand the 2x from gold. Brandon says, is there rewards for this tournament? I can't play, but I can send over a prize. Yeah, so Lorkus has been delegating cards. Those are the prizes that we've had. But Brandon, if there's anything that you want to give away, we can always do that with the chat for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody wants to hop on the delegation train or any other prizes, we're trying to get people excited about playing the game. Even though I'm disappointed with things, I still like this game.
Yeah, look, man, I get it. I do. I still think that we're gonna be in a decent spot.
I think so too. So none of these things are. So I guess what I should caveat this with, I'm disappointed, but none of these things are making us in a worse spot right now. Yeah. They just aren't necessarily helping us either, I don't feel like. So sorry to interrupt, but I agree. I don't think we're in a bad spot. I just think it could be better.
No, that's fair. Hold on, let me just, I'm putting a team together, which is probably not going to be very good, but let's see what we got here.
Oh man, I'm catching up with these comments.
So is there, okay, what are the comments? Or if you want to respond to any comments directly, feel free to.
Oh, I just hadn't read, sorry, I'm a slow reader. Yeah, it's so expensive to get a max gold level. That to their point, it's brutal. Like there needs to be a reason for it. Something I was thinking, I know that they decreased the cooldown timeline for this new mode that they want to make that I'm not a super big fan of, but I think that's one of the ways where they could potentially make gold foil more worth it to players, is find ways to actually make it have some advantage in gameplay.
They reduced it? I didn't even see that.
I think so. It was for, if I remember correctly, it was reducing the cooldown time for gold foil and whatever mode's called now.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's interesting. All right, well, let me see if I'm going to win my game here. Yay, won the first one. Let's go. All right. So, since I'm playing in the background here, I'll ask a question that you can kind of discuss with the audience if you'd like.
Okay.
From a gameplay perspective, from a card development perspective, we obviously have some things that I would say we'd like to see more of in the future, and hopefully they'll move in that direction. I don't know if it's just like Call Me Tim is just like overwhelmed. This dude has to make a ton of cards by himself and make sure that they're balanced. Like I said this on a stream a couple days ago. Like I wouldn't want to have his job, as cool as it might sound. Like,
yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, just pumping out cards.
The pressure is insane.
Yeah, like, and you don't have like a full team to balance it. There's just limited resources all around. So hopefully that's something that they can shore up in the future. But how big are you into land? If we can shift gears into like land, are you?
Yeah.
I know you have some there, right? What are you looking forward to on the land side of things? Because I think that's somewhat underrated right now, because everybody's just so focused on like Rebellion, Conclave Arcana, survival mode.
Yeah, I mean, I have some. I'm not like a huge holder relative to people that are huge holders. I think I have around 2 tracks between my accounts.
Okay.
I guess what I would like is a reason to actually care about putting stuff on them. I have most of my research plots working, but I pulled so many of my cards off of land to complete my gold full modern deck for my scholar. So I've just decimated my land for now, and it's hard to care. which is not exactly what I wanted. So
Yeah.
I would love to care about land. I acquired some. I spent time with Tails, helped me figure out how to organize my land to make it somewhat efficient. And I completely brutalized it because it was more interesting to me to let my scholar play gold foil, and that's disappointing.
No, that does suck. With 1.75, is there something there that you think that would, I don't know, like make it better for you?
No, because to me, land is not interesting to me until we have more players. I don't get why we're bothering with land and this other game mode that I hate at the same time. Why do we have developers working on 2 ways to sync cards when we really need more people to come play this game? That's the best way to sync cards. So to me, if we're going to focus on this new game mode, we should just ditch land for a while. And if we're going to do land, then why the hell do we have this other game mode? To me, they're both serving the same purpose. They're filling the same niche, and neither of those niches is the one I want worked on.
Well, it's interesting because that argument was made when the Cryptomancer proposal came about. I remember seeing that around quite a bit. Hold on.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not saying that nothing will excite me about land. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to picture the work I see. I honestly only personally pay attention to it coming through the Land Barons channel about the work that's being done. But basically, it's building up a bunch of DeFi pools. That's the thing, I guess. It doesn't excite me.
not exactly what you're looking forward to.
No, and I understand the purpose. It's part of that grand vision of land, and that's all fine. But I just don't know how all these pieces work together. In my role, in my job, my day job, what I do is try to organize the different efforts that people are putting together in order to create an end goal that makes sense and is what you're trying to deliver. That's my job. So when I look at what Splinterlands is doing, I don't understand how these pieces all create a whole that gives us what we're actually shooting for. And I guess that's where I struggle every day, looking at these decisions. I'm like, what is our goal and how does this support it?
Well, so, okay, to that point, I agree with you where it's just like, why? And I remember B. Jangles was kind of big on this too, where it's like, why are we focusing on land? This is not, like, if the goal is to bring in new players, land isn't going to do that, right? It's not at a stage where it excites people and they get, like, the full vision. And the people who've been here, that's really who, you know, Matt is trying to cater to. And once again, I don't envy his position because it's like, you know, he's been in charge, obviously, but it's like, he wasn't making decisions all the way back then, or it wasn't only him. Right. They pre-sold a bunch of stuff, and so now he's got to make sure that he's not leaving landowners out to dry, or you know.
Why? I mean, they've been left out to dry this whole time. Like, it's not like it's a new thing that landowners and the people that paid for like monsters and like during the pre-sale days on what was it, Kickstarter. Like these are not things that have ever been worked on. So I don't understand why now, when the company's struggling to find users, that would suddenly be the focus or like the main focus. Maybe it's not the main focus, and we just don't know what the main focus is. Maybe I'm just not hearing about it.
No, I would say it's not the main focus, but and it's definitely not the main focus because they shifted the financial responsibility onto the DAO, right? Which is essentially
That's
like.
True.
If you want this to continue, then the DAO can pay for it. And, you know, I think the DAO is comprised of enough folks who own land that's just like, well, we don't want it to just sit there either. And the DAO has funds, so like, let's give Cryptomancer something to do. But I can completely understand the counter argument where it's like, oh, okay, Cryptomancer's like a super talented dev. If we're going to pay him, let's get him to do something that's going to bring a bunch of people in, which I would have been okay with shelving land for, I don't know, 6 months or something and having him revamp guilds, right? Because guilds are perfect for, like, they're perfect for, like, new players to come in and really feel a sense of, like, sub-community.
Yeah.
And that's just something where, you know, if we were going to spend money on anything, DAO funds on anything, I would have much rather they gone there. And we know Cryptomancer's, like, passionate about guilds. He's built them in the past. He's added to them, and so
I would have gone even smaller. even smaller. I would
What do
have
you mean?
integrated the Splinterlands Discord into the Splinterlands website.
Oh,
That
into
would have been where I would spend
in the
Cryptomancer's
website.
time. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that we actually have a way to talk to people in that website. Because to me, that's one of the biggest problems that the game has is like people that come in, if they didn't come in through the Discord server, if they found the website, why are they sticking around? Like, I don't know.
True. Well, we've had an issue with in-game communication. I think that's something that people have wanted for a long time. So, yeah, man, I don't know.
But yeah, guilds would have been beautiful. Like even small stuff like
Mhm.
fixing the phrase so that they aren't stupid. Like, why is there a gold foil ABU fray? Like, why is that a thing? How many of those cards even exist? Why are we doing this
Oh,
with
yeah,
those
yeah.
cards?
Well, just
Come on.
like guilds have just been sitting there, not changed for the last couple of years.
3
since
years?
we've been here. Yeah.
2 years.
And I
Since
remember,
Guild Brawls started. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just remember was it the end of 2022? Like, so like 2 years ago when Matt said, hey, we want to expand guilds and do guild alliances, and I was like, oh, like all this sounds good, right? Give guilds more utility, like give people a
I've
reason
been
to jump in.
buying deck B for GP from my guildmates that burned deck and are so upset that they still have all this burned deck that they can't do anything with.
Yeah.
Like, that was just bad.
Yeah.
So agree with you. Guilds definitely need some love.
And so yeah, that was the kind of counter argument that I would have gone with. It's just everything happens so quickly, and I think there are significant landholders that are also SPS holders that it's like it's just not a good look either. I understand.
It's true.
It's just not a good look for like, hey, we're just gonna shelve this for another 6 months after we've already kind of shelved it for the last 2 years. So if new players come in, like that argument would just not. I think that could scare some folks away.
It's a great point. Like, it's definitely a tricky situation now. There's so many different work streams that have not been delivered on in the timely manner that there is just a huge backlog of work. So it's definitely tricky for sure.
I just want to let you
looks
know.
like did you see somebody gave some pretty sweet prices there?
I was gonna get into that in a second, but I just want to let you know I won the first round with my third final battle, the tiebreaker. I used Lorkus and won. Giving you some immediate feedback. All right, so Brandon says, "A Modern does have a great Dragon Summer because of Tofu. Does not have it because of Tofu, Lorkus, and even Cryptic. Really, only Little League rule set with Dragon available, and not even Ulfga to be played." Yeah. Matthew Young is in the house, and yes, Brandon has sent over 2 cards, one Ulfga and one Lorkus, today or for a future date. So let's get
one I hated on and one I love. Yeah, thanks.
Well, let's do this. We'll thank you. So first of all, thank you, Brandon. Make sure you guys tell Brandon thank you. So what we can do is today for the winner, let's give one away, and then we can hold one for next time. They can choose whether it's Ulfga or Lorkus, and we will go from there. Let me just double check. I did get the notification here, so thank you very much, Brandon. I agree, man. Let's get excitement back. I know where you're coming from in terms of a lot of the disappointment recently, but in the same way, I think a lot of that is easily overcome, if that makes sense. Like these are like missteps. They're not like fatal mistakes. It's just like, okay, somebody's like not paying attention, or they didn't test the card well, or maybe they're not listening to the community, but then they kind of remedied that by showing that they are listening to the community. You know what I mean?
It's true. So these are more frustrations than like deal breakers.
Great way to put it. Yeah.
The deal breakers are things that we already lived through. We lived through some of those deal breakers, and we're still here. So I think it's a good point. The people that are still here are unlikely to be pushed away by these decisions. They're just going to be frustrated by them.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what's sad to me is that they're kind of like unforced errors. That I feel like so many of these could be avoided with just better communication with the community. I have hot takes all the time, but there's plenty of people that have actually good thought out ideas. And if those communications could happen ahead of surprise announcements, I feel like there would just be less unforced errors. You look like you're building a team right
I
now.
agree, and I want to. Yeah. Oh no, me. Sorry, no. I think my computer wigged out for a second. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. You just look like you were
My-
very concentrating for a moment.
No, sorry. I think my computer froze because I don't know, the Splinterlands website had to like reboot itself. It was like a new version that
I think
just
it
got
was
pushed.
the all-time high,
And then I
probably
noticed
just
my
hit by
computer was
Bitcoin.
not responding. But I'm actually in. Did it? Wait, did it really?
No, I was just thinking that was
Oh,
what
it
you were
is.
doing, is buying all the Bitcoin.
1024. Well, hey man, Lorkus told me I needed to buy some Bitcoin today, and you know.
Yeah.
It
Wasn't me. Somebody else
where
told you
was that?
all-time high.
Where'd it
It was,
go?
who was that?
That was
Harris.
that was
Harris
Harris
told you
saying
that
he,
you-
yeah, he wants all-time high before the stream ends. That would be fantastic. I don't even know where. I think all-time high is like 103 something right now. So, but just getting back to your point, I think that you kind of encapsulated it well. It's frustrations. I mean, over time, a lot of frustrations can lead to people just being, getting out of here. But I still look at like the people who are frustrated now, and this is not about like legitimate grievances or ideas and stuff like that. I get that, and I'm not trying to hate on that. But leaving right now seems absolutely wild to me with like Bitcoin at 100K. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Yeah.
if you're gonna leave for something else, and I even like made a comment about this yesterday. It's like, what are you gonna leave for? Okay, I'll understand if like you're jumping ship over to like Prime and Parallel or one of these other games, right? And like, okay, fine, that makes sense. But like, it just feels weird if you don't have like a dedicated place that you're gonna go to, and you understand Splinterlands. If you can't see the shift happening both in the market and with the team, that it's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna let this ride for the next couple of months and see what happens, right? So
Yeah.
let's see.
Absolutely. It's not the time to sell low and go buy Bitcoin. That's
Yeah.
choice.
That was 2 years ago, right? I think SPS was at like 3 cents and Bitcoin was at 16K. So you can see how that trade would have worked out.
Yeah,
I want to
would've
be
been nice.
because I know a lot of the team. I want to be empathetic to them too. I can't imagine how crazy this year has been with just the amount of work that they've had to do. My hope, and this is just me, right, speculating, but my hope is that like, all right, they got this last release of the year done, and maybe they just kind of like stumble their way into it. Like Call Me Tim's like, one last card, and then let me go enjoy Christmas with my family, right?
Yeah.
My hope is that once we get into January, they'll be rested, recharged, and hopefully the market will be cooperative too, that everybody's just gonna be excited about crypto. My ideal scenario is that Matt may even be able to, with depending on their like financial situation, if like things have improved, maybe even announce like more help coming onto the team. Like that's something that I would like to see at some point, right? I don't want them to be running bare bones. I want them to do it responsibly. But the moment Matt's like, hey, I have the confidence to like bring on somebody else to either develop or to do ideas or to whatever, like that's going to be a really positive sign for me, and of course I think for the team.
Yeah, and just to be clear, maybe I should point this out. I feel like most of you guys know this, but I am not sitting on the sidelines. Like I am very frustrated, but I'm clearly not sitting on the sidelines. I was one of the top 6 buyers for Rebellion. I am buying all the cards that come out. I am very much not on the sidelines, which I think is where my frustration comes from. I have been funding this team directly now for a while, and it doesn't feel like they're listening to the people that are funding them. I'm not a casual observer. I'm not sitting here just accepting everything and not paying attention. I'm actively supporting you. Why is that so hard to listen to the people that are supporting you? Like obviously Bugta says, and they listened when he screamed, but he had to scream. So I appreciate that you know the team, and I really appreciate that you're willing to give their perspective in here. I just want to point out why I'm not giving their perspective, because I'm paying them. Through what I've done with this game, I'm supporting the team heavily, and I don't feel like it's necessary for me to point out their point of view. That's their job. My job is to point out my point of view, which I don't feel like is being heard. I just want to make sure that's clear, that I'm not here shitting on a team that I want to fail. I'm funding them, but I also want them to hear when the people that are supporting this game have legitimate complaints. I at least want them acknowledged.
Yeah, and look, that's fair. So my, just to be, fully transparent, I know a lot of I know a lot of individuals on the team. My work with the team, I haven't done any work with them in over a year at this point, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know the inner workings. I don't know how all that stuff is. I just know that there's a lot of folks that put in a lot of hours and time, and all different times of the day. So I can appreciate the fact that the fact that there's less of them now, and things have only seemed to ramp up. My hope is that they do get that R&R and are able to come back recharged.
Yes.
I take that as a completely separate point to what you're talking about, though, because
Completely.
I do think that there should be somebody dedicated on the team, whether it's, not to pile more things on Royal, but whether it's Royal or whether it's Nate or whether it's someone like, if you've been making significant investments into this game, whether it's you, whether it's Vugtis, like it would be great to have like, and I don't know what the legal implications of this might be, so I just want to be very careful of that. But it's like, wouldn't it be great for them to do not brainstorm sessions, but just like review sessions with people who have been around for a while, just to be like, hey, this is kind of the general direction that we're going with things, or this is like, you know what I mean? Like, because I've heard that in the past, and shout out to PJ, because there was a period of time where he was like even reaching out, or Clay had connected us because PJ wanted to just reach out to community members, and so streamers was like an easy way for him to do so, but just trying to get like feedback on the game. But that felt like it was more so just a one-off from him rather than this organized thing, and I'd love to see more of an organized thing in the future.
I think that would be great. I certainly am not a game theory expert, and do not feel like you should be listening to me on how to build your game. But there are concerns that I have. I'm not going to tell you how to build your game, but those concerns, I feel like there's people with those concerns, and having an avenue that feels like they're being heard would be fantastic.
Agreed.
There's some comments over there from Brandon, and he was asking if I think Rebellion is going to be extremely supply limited, and I think that's definitely what I'm hoping for. And that's only true if we keep getting more players. But yeah, it's such a smaller set later on in the evolution of this game, that I'm hoping that they will have some value, because they are supply limited. I guess my concern with the supply limited side is that if they are still the most powerful cards in the game, that it could really hurt our ability to onboard a ton of people if they're not able to actually compete without Rebellion, and they are incredibly supply limited. So I don't love that side of it. But yeah, I think that if things go as we want them to, Rebellion is likely to be very supply limited.
Well, which could turn into another situation similar to like Chaos and Untamed, right? Where it's like all of a sudden everybody had a maxed Chaos deck. And if you had Untamed, then you were at the top of the leaderboard. But I would argue that there's a huge difference between that time and now, right? So many issues within the game and the game economy have been fixed. Like, first of all, there's no way for Conclave Arcana to be as printed as Chaos is, right?
Yeah.
I get that there's like unlimited packs, but here's the thing: the way that the flywheel works now, that it didn't work when Chaos Legion was out, that if we do get somehow 10 million packs of Conclave Arcana sold, I mean, the impact to the amount of DEC needed to be printed, and therefore the amount of SPS burned, is absolutely wild, right? So like, everybody would still be pretty happy with the fact that, hey, we printed, I don't know however many max copies of Conclave Arcana, but guess what? SPS is sitting at multiples higher than it is now, right? And people are earning rewards, and that's bringing more people in. You got this virtuous cycle that's happening. Yeah.
It's definitely, I'm not sure that actually ends well, but it would definitely be interesting for a little while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the true scenario, like, I don't think anything ends well. I think at some point, like, this is a crypto game, and it will experience another crypto winter. And the fact that they've survived, two, and especially the last one that was kind of brutal, and now you have Matt, who's even more conservative. My hope is that Matt stashes away 3 years of cash, right? Where he's just like, don't worry, the game's not going anywhere. We're going to keep on iterating. But, SPS is going to do a 99% retracement from whatever it's at. And over time, we will continue delivering more value to it. I have way more trust in that now than like 2 years ago.
Sure, absolutely. I feel like that's at least a pipe dream, where before it wasn't even that.
Yeah. All right, hold on. I'm putting together a team. So.
Oh, there we go.
Let me see if I can give you a question. What's up, Bolts? After sound looking fresh. Thanks, bro. Langeese and Tails. All right. So, here's a question for you, Lorkus from Brandon. Do you think Rebellion will be extremely limited? Oh, did you already answer that? Some folks
I did.
Is it? Okay. Dang
Yeah.
it. All right. I have 25 seconds to put together a team.
You go for it. Pilak. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. Was talking about getting past the 1 cent SPS barrier. I think that is a really big one. I'm not sure we're ready to do it yet. I think we keep toying with it. I'm not sure we're actually ready to break it. But when we do actually see SPS growing to a number that's not just a fraction of a cent, I think it will help.
Get past the 1 cent SPS barrier. Or just suddenly doubled. Yeah, things are going wild. So, I mean, we've already crossed the 1 cent barrier, but we just don't.
We didn't stay.
Yeah, we didn't stay, but we don't have the drivers right now, in my opinion, that are hopefully coming in Q1, maybe Q2, that will push things. Like I think I was looking at Conclave. I've done the math on this. Let me see if I have it available. Yeah, okay. So, for example, the pre-sale for Conclave Arcana, which I think has a pretty good chance of selling out. It's like 500,000 or 650,000 packs. That pre-sale is going to require 4.4 billion DEC of volume, right? Of which 2.2 billion is going to get locked up in the DAO. I mean, some of it from the team is probably going to get recycled, but that's a lot. We don't. That would eat through a lot of what we have out there right now.
Yeah, it certainly would. I haven't done that math, so that's interesting.
I got to put together another team. Go see BG. I gave you that second one because I got caught up. Man, I don't even know. Interesting. Okay.
I have not looked at the new.
I love that you just very slowly shifted yourself.
Yeah, I was starting. I knew you just did.
Fair enough.
The Legends. I have not actually looked at the new Legends cards. I heard they were announced.
They are. We can take a look at them. I don't know where they're listed, but I don't know if they're listed on the game.
I don't see them in the game. They must have been. I saw an announcement.
I'm hoping that you win. No. It was here. I'll put. It was on the game. It was in the. All right. Thankfully, I lost. All right. GG's Ghostly BG. I pretty much gave that to you. It was in the release notes. So let me pull that info up. Oh, did I get tagged in Discord? What's going on here? Official announcements. Tails, you there?
I am, yeah.
Tails?
I've been listening to all the conversation. Just chilling.
Right, good morning, Tails.
Hi. Good morning. GM.
We just stopped directing anything at you because I wasn't sure if you.
I figured you'd hop in when you felt passionate.
Yeah, no, I'm just biting my tongue, just chilling.
You don't want the marketing geniuses from Splinterlands to meme you again? That's weird.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I mean, I think your comments are fair. I mean, look, we're all here because we want the game to succeed at the end of the day. So Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So, but I can share, I guess, one thing that I thought was interesting. Just something I was going through just actually yesterday as Rebellion, because we were talking about Rebellion print numbers and such. With Rebellion, I think it has around 300,000 packs to go. It's getting close to the end times here for this set, and I was looking at picking up some Rebellion packs. Is it less than that now?
It's 160,000 today.
Okay, yeah. So we're we can see the finish line.
Yeah.
And
what? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna agree with you. I said I think I'm gonna pick up some packs too, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to make that claim on there.
Well, here's the thing is, so look, it's kind of I'm gonna put it this way, it's kind of a no-brainer, but at the same time it's not. And I was going to buy packs yesterday, but I didn't. And here's kind of the reason why, because for me, luckily I'm in a situation where I don't need the packs to rip open and play with right now. Mm-hmm. So for me, it would be not to use the cards, but more of an investment choice. And honestly, since we talked about this topic as well, I would have been pulling DEC off of land and shutting down land to do that. I've already pretty much shut down land already, but whatever's remaining, I would just move into packs. But I decided not to do it because I kind of looked at the opportunity between, let's say, now and April, when Carne Asada is launched. And I didn't see the packs, even when they're out of print, necessarily going up by more than a factor of 2x. And you're kind of like, well, that's crazy. Why wouldn't you, if you think it's going to go up 2x, why wouldn't you, move it off land and put it into packs? Because 2x is better than 0x, right? So, but here's the thing is, when I look across the broader crypto sphere, I think there's so much more opportunity than 2x out there right now that I'll be directing it elsewhere, just because I think there's between now and April, I think there's better spots for opportunity cost. So is that a negative on Rebellion and Splinterlands? No, not at all. 2x is, I think, certainly feasible, going from 3.28 to $6.50 or $8. But at the same time, I think between now and April, from a holding perspective, I think you can go elsewhere and probably get better returns from an investment perspective.
Well, what's interesting is, in the previous conversations that we've had, you talked about converting DEC over to SPS. I would say within Splinterlands, there's better than 2x opportunities with something like SPS. Mm-hmm. We saw SPS essentially do a 3x the last time a new set came out with Rebellion. And, obviously this time is slightly different because we don't have land 1.5. It'll be more like land 1.75. But I would say the major thing is the fact that you're going into a bull run here. And we've seen, without the flywheel effect, SPS has been able to, go up 2x from its all-time lows. I have to imagine if Bitcoin's hitting, 120, 150, 200, whatever, wherever it goes next year, SPS is going to get some of that organically. And then the rest will hopefully come from the flywheel.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not.
Visbo the Fabulous is a fantastic looking card. I just noticed that there's up there on the screen. Sorry to interrupt.
No. Well,
I love that art. It's fantastic.
That hairdo, man. It's all about the hair. What do you think of the card overall, though?
Just looking at it.
The Legendary is the winner, I think, for sure.
What is that second ability? I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's a new one. So it's like Shroud or a Reflection Shield or something like that, where you essentially he gives his neighbors Reflection Shield.
Ooh. Yeah,
I think it's going to be clutch because if I recall correctly, he's Earth, and Reflection Shield in the new Modern with Tofu is going to be a necessity. So I think it's kind of like a must-have if you're going to play at the highest levels. And one of the things we haven't really talked about is with these Hall of Legends cards, there's probably only a few that are really must-have at the top levels of the game. Mm-hmm. And I think this is going to be one of those. Now, all the others are nice to have for sure, but they come with a huge opportunity cost. But I think there's just only a handful, like literally 2 or 3 that, well, maybe 2 to 4, depending on who you ask, that you have to have if you want to stay competitive.
Well, let's jump
So
into those.
what would those be for you? Like,
Yeah,
is that what you're-
Well, here, before we do that, you want to take a quick look at the rare one, and then we'll actually go look up the promos, because I want to.
What's that second ability?
Impede. So every time he connects, it slows them down
Gotcha.
1. So there's no new abilities here. This is just like I don't know. I wasn't as impressed with this because I'm like 10 mana is really high, and it's just got
I really like.
mishmash of abilities.
To me, it looks really good once it gets to level 6. Just being able to lay a poison like before the match even starts is pretty ridiculous.
That's a good point,
And then when you can self heal, that's pretty great.
Yeah, it's just his health is so low. He's only gonna heal like 2. Oh no, he'll still heal 2 per round. I don't know. Yeah,
Which is the same as poison if you got it, I guess. It seems fine for a rare card. It's not as OP as that legendary, but it shouldn't be. It's rare.
Well, nothing's gonna beat. What was that? Night Stalker.
Night Stalker is the grossest rare. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Well, here, let's go over to the market and take a look at all these promo cards, because I'd be curious to get both of your thoughts on which ones are the must-haves.
Yeah. So I'm curious what Tails' ideas are, but to me, the ones that I feel like are going to be really valuable, Night Stalker, obviously we talked about it. To me, Mariput Moss Mender, is
with the
pretty
echo
nice.
ability.
Yeah. Let's see.
So let's.
Delia is better than I thought, so I'm not sure if it's a must-have, but Delia is pretty nice.
So these are the legendaries. These top 4 are the legendary ones.
I don't know. To me,
pretty good in the meta too.
I think Rick Lanamon can be. It depends on how many other cards in the future they add that ability to, and how interesting that can be. Because right now it's just Palace, right?
Yeah.
That Rick Lanamon works well with, or works especially well with.
There's not much.
Eleanor is just awesome because having another 0 mana card is ridiculous.
But once again, like this is a card where you get 80% of the benefit at level 1, right? Just having it is good enough, in my opinion.
It's true.
What does she get later?
The strengthen is really where you boost all of your other 0 mana cards. To me, that's where you are going for level 4. But you're right, you get most of it without that.
And then I think we talked about
Baron Fiat, obviously not super awesome. I don't think Ulfka is going to be a must-have. Mantaroth wasn't a part of this, but obviously Mantaroth is amazing.
Oh yeah, that is a great.
I guess I'm not sure about Nefket. I don't know. Thoughts on that?
Tails, you want to go for it?
I was just compiling some data, so go ahead and continue. I'll let you know what I find here.
Gotcha. Yeah, Nefket. I mean, I thought it's good. It's just not again like as.
It's gonna wreck some stuff because
like
knockout and piercing, that's gonna do some damage.
Like there are definitely certain areas in which I think he could be awesome. Like for example, like you throw him with the dragon summoner that has ambush, right? And like he could just be doing some real work before the game even starts.
An opportunity rule set, he's going to be pretty gross.
Yep. All right, let's go to the rares again real quick. I think we covered most of them. Moss Pud.
I didn't notice Grimbardoon Smith was one of the new images. That's great. I love Tofu so much. That one was fantastic. Yeah, the only one that I'm just totally in love with here is Night Stalker. Sanctus Vicar is really nice, but it's another one of those ones where it got a lot of its functionality at level 1.
At level 1, yeah. I mean, it's cool to get it to level 4 because then you're just like in a poison rule set, you could be cleansing, 2 people.
But I'm curious how many people took it past 4.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't know that he has much value beyond that. Yet he's still one of the more expensive ones here. And there's more cards, more of his card than of something like Rune Arcanus. It's only 881. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, this one, like, this ability is cool, but I don't know. So yeah. my struggle right now, because I'd mentioned I was like thinking about buying packs. It would be more so like from a like a playing perspective, right? I've waited the entire time, and it's like, okay, how much do I want to participate in the new modern format? Which is a lot, right? I mean, especially if that new modern format is kicking in during a bull run and SPS is multiples higher than where it's at now. That actually sounds quite good. But buying packs and just playing the lottery essentially to try to level up a deck doesn't seem like the way to go, especially because you need like over 3,000 packs in order to get a max deck. So it's like, okay, if I'm gonna do like focused funds, it's like either buy a bunch of packs or just go and buy the summoners that I need or that I want, right? Tofu might be out, but Lorkus is one that I would want. And then I don't know how you'd rank the others.
I mean, it's not a summoner, but Rage is absurd.
Oh, is Rage that good?
Oh, I love Rage.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the grossest weapons trainer that there is, in my opinion. You can really do some damage with that card.
Yeah.
Granted, it's a 16 mana card. But...
And the life leech is...
Yeah, you get life leech and weapons training. You can combine that with Nidhogger for blast. It's a good card.
Nidhogger.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. The summoners that you would want out of all of them, if you were just able to pick, would be Tofu, Lorkus, and Cryptic.
How is it these days?
I think a Kane has versatility in matches where you're trying to get Dragon out without that much mana, but I think we discussed that Dragon is just not quite as attractive as it used to be.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Kane is that it's not Little League eligible. Like, if it was, that would be one of the more dominant summoners for Little League.
That's a good point. And then out of that, like, you can't go wrong with Venka. Maybe you can, because Tails will tell us the opportunity cost. But Venka is just such a ridiculous card too.
Do you need this maxed? Where does it get?
Yeah, you kind of do. She get Char. Yeah, trample's pretty huge.
Oof.
Yeah, they did a good job with that card. Like, you want to max it. Like, the ones that you want to max, I think they did a really good job. Like, you want to max Rage because that's where it gets really disgusting. You want to max Venka because it just completely owns teams with that.
Yeah, Venka's a no-brainer. And I think what you see with the cards is, if you play the game and you know how the game works, you can kind of know what the winners are really easily. Like anyone who play, well, yeah, after the fact, but even before they're released, like it's you know it when you see it. Like anyone who played Splinterlands knew that Venka was going to be a beast, right? When she was announced, and
Night Stalker.
Yeah. Well, here's what's interesting is Night Stalker on paper is really, really strong and good. However, and this is why I was looking at some of the data, because we have 2 of the top accounts here in the stream with us today, Lorkus and VetV. I just went through both your last 20 battles in Modern and VetV's last 20 battles in Modern to see
how many of them were against
what
each other.
promo. Oh, I didn't look at that necessarily, but what promo cards or Hall of Legend cards were used in the last 40 Modern battles of some of the 2 top accounts in the game, and there were 3 Hall of Legends cards used. Can you guess what 3 those were?
I would say Eleanor for sure.
Yes.
And Night Stalker,
No.
and then not Night Stalker. Okay.
No.
Delia.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And let me think. If it wasn't Night Stalker, then it was definitely a legendary. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So the last 40 matches in Modern by two of the top accounts in the game, Eleanor Bracefoot was used the most. Rick Lauderman, I think, the second, and Delia the third. There was no Maryput. There was no Night Stalker. But here's the caveat. When Chaos Legion goes away, right, I think those cards become more viable, I believe, in the meta. Because they're just that strong on paper. But I think Night Stalker has a problem with just tofu in general. But with Reflection Shield being available, perhaps I have to check. I don't know if it's available for fire necessarily. I have to double check. But in either case, we don't know what the Carne Asada set's going to bring us either from a synergy perspective.
That new Fizzbo, the Fabulous, can give Night Stalker.
But is it fire?
Reflection Shield.
Was it Earth and Fire? What was it?
It's Earth and Fire.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, perfect.
So there's your new combo right there to get Night Stalker back in the game against Earth.
Yeah. So I think at that point, I mean, those two will be paired up very frequently because generally tofu is going to be the reason why probably Night Stalker isn't just spammed like Venka because of the vulnerability to the thorns in the mirror in many cases. But again, I think that's the thing to remember is, the Chaos Legion set with all its reward cards, promo cards, everything that is Chaos Legion is just so pervasive in the meta still today.
There's just so many options too,
once all of that goes poof and vanishes from Modern, I think it's going to be interesting. And I think, I know Gathering the Magic has been doing some of that analysis and looking at it. We don't know the second half of the puzzle, which is, basically what Carne Asada is going to bring to the table. But what's interesting is, if they stay true to what they've kind of hinted at, where certain abilities are not going to be brought back from Chaos Legion in the new set, like Force Field or Giant Killer or some of these are pretty big abilities that may only exist in Wild, and that's also going to make things drastically different as well, where certain cards just weren't necessarily played much because of some of those rules may, big damage or big monsters may see a comeback.
No, I mean, that's a good point. Obviously, the Modern meta is going to change so much because you're getting new cards coming in. But what I think people discount, to your point, Tails, is how many go-to cards that we do with Chaos Legion are just going to completely disappear. And the fact that for example, there's a ton of good, if you want to do a sneak strategy, right? There's a ton of good different teams out there with Pelacor Bandit and Uraeus and whatever that you may not necessarily go to Night Stalker, but once all those guys are out of the mix and you want to run some kind of sneak team, it's going to look completely different.
Yep.
It's a great point. I would be curious what percentage of the cards played between, as you pointed out, Lorkus and D's account. What percentage of them are Rebellion versus Chaos Legion? Just to know how much that's going to change. That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend probably 10 minutes and put the percentages together pretty quickly. Maybe not 10 minutes. It'd probably take like 30 minutes. But in either case,
depends on how good your memory is and how many you have to look up to remember which set they're part of.
Yeah, but there's a lot, right? I mean, it's significant. So
interesting. All right, let me go through the tournament here, then we can catch up on the chat because I think we're in the final round now. So going back to the second round, congrats to Usujins, Ghostly BG, Wangsmith, and Langeese for making it to the semifinals, and then from there, Langeese over Wangsmith, Usujin over Ghostly BG. Come on, Ghostly BG, you're supposed to win. And right now, looks like they got 2 battles done. Oh, whoops, I did not do streamer mode. but we'll come back to this in a minute. Let's just jump into the chat because some folks have been leaving some interesting comments. 3Von is here. Gigi says Mystic Force. Jake, what's going on? Open the Newer, what's going on? Yeah, Merry Christmas, Goal CBG. I gave you those wins. Brandon really likes carne asada. Nice tails. And then Jake says Rick Loneman is good against immune monsters. I forgot that he has that new expose ability.
Yeah, that's true. And combining that with, I was watching an interesting battle from Red,
Ambush,
where
right?
it was like combating Rick Loneman's removal of abilities, whatever that's called, with cleanse that kept adding immunity back. So it was kind of funny watching the Maripet like add back 2 abilities that just got wiped by Rick Loneman, and they were just battling. It was remove 2, add 2 over and over again.
That's funny. And then saying Nepket is good and shreds Venka backline.
Makes sense.
Let me see here. What's the max stats on this? Oh, you get exposed at level 2. That's actually not terrible. It's actually pretty good if you think about it.
Yeah.
Getting that card at level 2 might be enough. But then you got to pair him with Palace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I haven't seen many combos of Rick Loneman and Palace from Red, my scholar. So I'm not sure if he doesn't like that combo or if it's not working out as well as he likes. I just haven't seen it a whole lot.
I mean, it's like they buff Palace, but maybe not enough.
Well, it may be another one of these things where it's not going to really show how powerful it is until Chaos Legion is no longer.
That's another good point.
Things.
Yeah, because you get this at level 1, which is actually
1.
Good.
You can give Rick Loneman True Strike for what, like $2 or whatever that card cost. Probably $6.
Well, no. Rick Loneman gets Ambush, but Palace gets True Strike. I think is how I'm understanding this, right?
Adjacent units get True Strike, so you basically give Rick Loneman True Strike by being next to it.
Oh, okay. So wait, Palace gets Ambush then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of not as good as I thought it. I thought Rick Loneman was gonna get. Well, I guess what's better, Ambush or True Strike?
True Strike. I think, because it means he never misses. Like you lose out on 1 turn before the battle starts, but he never misses.
I know, but he has a double attack that could do like 6 damage. I mean, he could, and he could like double expose before the game even starts.
It's an interesting point. I don't know. I think I would prefer True Strike, but it's an interesting argument.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've obviously been thinking about this the right way because you understood the correct meaning of that. I had the opposite, so now I'm trying to recalibrate my brain. So yeah, I mean, look, hey, I will take True Strike any day. I think it's funny because like I'm getting to a point now where I'm looking to like level up my deck a little bit before we get into hopefully the throes of a bull run here. And part of me is like going back and forth with, okay, do I go heavy on some of these Rebellion cards so that I can stay in Modern? And I get the fact that like most of my or a lot of my reward cards are already leveled up. I feel like, okay, well, I can avoid all of Rebellion core, just focus on the summoners that I like, and I'll at least be competitive, right? Because whatever comes in with Conclave Arcana, you're not going to have the legendary summoners right away. So if I grab some of the legendary summoners, I should be good in hopefully certain situations, or at least competitive. Versus like, do I make the decision now and just go straight to wild and look at cards like I don't know, where is it?
Kitty.
Like Kitty, honestly. Or it's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna throw that much money down, like, would I want Kitty or do I want Tofu? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be cool to have a Kitty because there's just not many there. Actually, you probably wouldn't be able to get. There's a decent amount available. But yeah, I don't know. That's just like been on my brain the last couple of days. But I guess I'm running out of time now before there's no more packs available.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Wild seems so cutthroat, and the number of cards you need is so brutally large. It's just not some place that seems interesting to me.
Fair.
I don't know. You potentially could be competitive with a lower spend, though. I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just look at it and look at all those cards. No.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And the other part of it too is, like as we were talking about earlier with power creep, right? Like Kitty's still decent because True Strike is awesome and RNG sucks, but how is that going to change even further as we move along?
After sound. Look at you.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, we had 16 players, so I won the first round. Did pretty good. Congratulations to Usujind, Langis for the runner-up. So guys, did you take back all of your delegations already, Lorkus?
Yeah, I just did a few minutes ago.
Okay, so Usujin, Langis, Wangsmith, GoCBG, Xandroid, Overpower 16. If you guys are in the chat, just let us know what it is you want. If you go into the details page here, I believe you'll be able to see on this list what cards are available for a delegation until the next live stream. So leave your...
And is Usujin in here for that card giveaway for Brandon?
Oh, that's a good point. Usujin, are you here? I think we got to make that a rule. They got to join, right?
Yeah, to give away a card? It feels like it.
Yeah. If you're not in the stream, then we're going to go down the line here. Usujin, where are you? Okay, so S2. Okay, so see, we got somebody to comment. Here's the second place Langis. I would like an Eternal Tofu. If not possible, then Venka is fine.
Yeah.
Ghostly wants a Lux Vega.
Yeah, I will delegate that. I don't know.
All right, so. All right, well, who's the top? Usujin? Usujin, if you are here, declare yourself. First of all, to see what card you want delegated, and then secondly, so that we can give you a brand new, spanking brand new, what is it called again? Ulfka. I'm never gonna remember that.
And it was Langus that wanted a tofu.
Yeah, Langus wanted the tofu, and GoCBG wanted Lux Vega. Wait, Jake. Oh, okay. So wait, Jake says I should have entered, but yeah, no energy to rent and play. Jake, these are ghost card tournaments. Every card is available to you. You get max copies of everything. So next time, please make sure you join. Yeah, there's no energy, and you don't have to rent anything. It is not your collection. You have access to the entire modern collection. So,
one DEC. You need one DEC.
It's one DEC, and if you need the one DEC, I will send you a couple. Right?
Yes. Same. Message me.
Yeah. So we just want people to participate. This is essentially free, right? We'll subsidize your entry point if you need it. But yeah, I apologize if that was not communicated.
And I delegated a tofu to Langis, but it's got a 5-hour cooldown. So sorry.
It's all good, man. I'm sure they can deal with it. All right. Is there anybody else that was in the top 10? Where's Wangsmith? Where is Xandroid, Overpower, West Star, Mystic Force? I saw you here. Oh, and Tails, you get something too. Fun stuff. All right, let me see here.
Do you have an Eleanor, Tails? Should I delegate one of those?
I mean, if you have a spare, I'm sure Ryan could.
I do. Let me check.
But no need. If not, it's a big deal.
No, I don't. What do I do with my other Eleanor? I don't know where it is. I gotta find it.
Lorkus, I know it's still obviously very early, like 3-4 months away, but what are your thoughts on, going heavy into Conclave Arcana, and not necessarily like getting top 6, but you're planning to get like a max deck and go heavy onto the pre-sale, I'm assuming?
That's the plan. I mean, I haven't looked into it too closely. It'll ultimately depend on the cost and how flush I'm feeling. But yeah, my intention is to continue going.
All right, Mystic Force says anything is good, so dealer's choice. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean that's the other part of it is like, do I just start stacking DEC and buy some Conclave Arcana? I don't know. Too many choices. Too many choices. Too little funds. It's always what it comes down to. Push and shove.
How about a Mantaroth Mystic Force? Does that sound good?
Mantaroth is a great option. All right, well, Usujin, this is your last call. This is your last call, Usujin. Let's see. How badly did they win? Oh, they won 3 straight. They just dominated.
Yeah, 9-1. They won the most by a lot.
Well done, Usujin. Sadly, you're not here. Oh, and Jake, just to be clear, like these are just delegations, so you get them for like a week or so. I mean, Lorkus is incredibly generous, but he's not just handing out $500 cards either. So, just want to make sure everybody understands. Free tournaments, free delegations.
Except for Brandon, he was very generous.
Except for Brandon. Brandon is giving something away. Okay, so I'm gonna call it here. Languise, are you still here? I gotta make sure. I saw you in the chat earlier. You requested something, but confirm you're still around. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Second place, Languise. All right, yeah. So this is S2 Lang. Still got 32 people in the chat. This is a decent showing. But we only had 16 folks that participated, so hopefully we'll ramp that up over time.
Yeah, it's encouraging that people joined that weren't even in the running for free delegations, unless we want to give some away to the people in the audience too.
Actually, yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. If they're not here, then hey, well, let's for people who participated, is Ran here? Mega Mariano? All right, look, if you're one of these last 5 or 6, let us know in the chat.
Yeah, we got lots of cards left to delegate.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, there's a bunch here. It's better than it just sitting around. We appreciate the fact that you spent your time with us and participated in the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, after sound.
What's that?
You have another card to play with this week.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're gonna like it.
Uh-oh. Let's see.
It's got a 6.5 hour cooldown.
That's all good. Let me where can I see that on the Explorer?
Probably.
Oh, they actually don't have delegations on the Explorer. Okay.
I always use Peak Monsters for it.
Oh, that's what I was using, the Peak Monsters Explorer thing. But let's see, delegate.
Oh, you should just be able to put in delegated.
You gave me the only better card that could exist from the one that you gave me last time.
I figured you should try it out.
Thank you, sir. Well, I appreciate that. I will definitely give it a shot.
Okay.
Although I will say I think the reason why Lorkus the Summoner has just been so impactful for me is because of the fact that I like every time I see what's that called? Back to Basics. I just like give a middle finger to the team and I'm just like, that's it. Doesn't matter. I got the summoner I need now.
You should try Tofu with Back to Basics too. It works pretty well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
The life leach just makes such a huge difference.
It does. You just get so many abilities for you put Tofu down there.
Well, I guess you get the triage. You get. That's interesting. Okay. No, we shall see.
I don't think you'll hate it.
I don't think I'll hate it either. All right. Languise is not here either. Languise, S2 Lang. Come on, somebody say something. Oh, I got a notification on the screen that said card delegation, but it doesn't show me there. Okay.
I still
Leon,
need to get a card to overpower Power
Wait, Leandro, what about
16.
playing on mobile? But then again, I guess you can't. All right. Well, nobody else has said anything. You wanna delegate Leandro a card? He's here hanging out, even though he's at work.
Yeah. Yeah,
Kusamain,
absolutely.
is that your IGN? KUSAMAIN? Yeah, send him something.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here, Leandro. Even though you probably have some important thing. Like, what if you were like a doctor or something? He's watching my stream. Watching the stream. Go save lives. Don't worry, you can play later. All right.
Can you spell that name for me while I...
Yeah, sure. KUSAMAIN.
Thank you.
All right. Silk Mav. Hey, Silk Mav, were you in there too? Oh, or Silk Mauve. So if you want to send something to Silk Mauve, go for it. Or Slick Mauve, sorry. SLIK-MOV. You do AutoCAD drawings. All right, that doesn't sound life or death, so I think you'll be all right. All right, well, I guess Langeese left. So you know what? We're just gonna keep going down the line here. We never heard from Wanksmith, so Ghostly BG, you still in the chat? I know you're here, Ghostly BG. What did Ghostly BG want? Oh yeah, Lux Vega.
I'm not finding that name. Slick Mob.
Oh, it's SLIK-MOV.
Dash. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Ghostly BG. Wait, did you get Ghostly BG? Not that it's going to change anything, but did you get the voucher promo card? Do you have a max copy of Ulfka? Because if not, then today's your lucky day. Oh wait, I can actually check, right? Hold on. How do I check someone's cards?
Yeah. You can just go on to Peak Monsters, My Cards, and just change it to their name up top.
Totally forgot about that.
You can stalk people. It's good.
Oh, I can see everything that he's got. Mary Poop Mossbender. Interesting. I don't see it there. Oh, not yet. I'm waiting to pull my 12K from the pool. All right, sir. Well, you have to make sure that you thank the one and only Vet V, Brandon, because you are the winner of at least one BCX. So hopefully that should make it a little bit cheaper in your quest to get enough vouchers from the pool. But I'm going to send this to you right now. Ghostly BG. Let me confirm. Ghostly BG. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, just make sure you thank Brandon for his generosity. I don't know if you're still here, Vet, but appreciate it. And we'll save there's a Lorkus as well, but we'll save that for a giveaway on the next tournament or some other time.
And for next one, while we're here, you want to do an evening one next week, or what do you fellas thinking?
Yeah, let me check. But I agree we can. The 19th. Oh yeah, because I think we'll do the 19th, and then I'm probably going to be out of it the week after that for the holiday.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what? Evening is perfect. Let's do that.
Okay.
And you can pick the time. I know that you're a couple hours behind us, so whatever time you free up, I should be good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll set something up.
Anytime after like 6 p.m. Central for me is good, which I think is probably too early for you anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. This was fun.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks everybody for participating. Lorkus, Tails, thanks for being here.
For sure. Appreciate it, Lorkus. After Sound, one thing as well, After Sound, while we still have you on here, when are we going to do a parallel stream? They just patched some stuff, and it's a whole new meta right now. So,
is it okay? Let's I will DM you. I'm free this weekend actually. So if you're free over the weekend, I should be able to find some time.
Let's
if
do
that
it.
works. Okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to jump in. I gotta go and update everything on here. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. But Prime has been pumping, which makes me happy. So I will just get back into it. All right, guys. Anything else? We good?
I think that's everything.
All right. Well, have an amazing rest of your Thursday, or for those of you on the other side of the world, enjoy the weekend, early start to the weekend. And we will catch you all next week. We'll get the tournaments, and we'll get the tournament up, and I'll try to get the live stream up once we lock down a time, just so people have an idea ahead. But that's it. Great chat, gentlemen.
Thanks, everyone. This is lots of fun again.